big mountains in every society or every nation. And what? And I heard even behind the story, the Loren Cunningham, the founder of the YM, and Bill Bright, who is deceased, but the founder of CCC a few years ago. They were told to fast 3 days at the same time, not knowing that the other one is fasting. And at the third day, they got this revelation about 7 mountains. Then God told them, call each other. And when they called each other, wow, they found both of them are in Colorado Springs. So they met and they discussed, and they were really amazed that they got the same revelation, that God told them exactly the same thing to both of them. Why the Christians withdrew from all these 6 mountains? And you think as long as you can keep the religious mountain, that you think you can change the society. The society, God made the society not that way. And anyway, so whether you are in art or media, I have disciples who are in education, who are dedicated more in art, who are more dedicated in media, and many other ones. I want them to be one of those, mountain of Lowe's temple, mountain of, so many Josephs and Daniels on top of the mountains. But then God said, no, use this one, apply it to the mission. And God said, kind of telling me that even though you are not so successful, not so visible, that you need to go out to the other nations and raise up the Christian business people. I have a wife who is very methodical, or she doesn't like any surprises. She has to plan perfectly, and almost in every area in our lives, she's different from me. Right? That's what I love her. It's a good combination. Anyway, she says, "You're not a billionaire. How come people will listen to you? And you're not a billionaire. How can you go out to the other world and teach them to be how biblical to become billionaire?" I said, "You are right." So I went to the Lord. Says, my wife says that. It makes a lot of sense. So, and why don't you make me a billionaire first? So I kept praying, until He answers. Then He showed me this He showed me this vision very clearly one morning. He says, "All right, a lot of people. You can imagine these are. You can imagine. Let's say you are in the media. These are the mountains of media of each country. This, as an example, this is mountains of business in each country. Big mountain is like more developed countries like the USA or even Korea or China. Now these small ones are underdeveloped countries. But Christians at the middle of the mountain has no influence. Nobody knows them. I have some disciples like that. And even I have some business men, they can drive Porsche or, Mercedes-Benz, so be it. So what? They have no influence. But God said, I'm trying to use them. Let them go to the underdeveloped countries and help them go up to the mountains. There has been already a very good example. When I see this, I don't stop there. I have an engineering background. Says, Lord, show me some examples. If I said this, I would believe you. I do believe you. Yes, I believe you. But many people says, how can it happen? How many people know about POSCO? Not many people know. POSCO is the largest steel company until recently, until there's a bigger one came up into existence from China. But it's a Korean steel company. And it was established early 1970s. When he was told by that time the dictator president, Korean president, and told another part, the founder of POSCO, says, go build a steel company. No technology, nothing. So he went to Japan because he had a Japanese education when he was young, or in elementary school. But all these Japanese steel companies says, you're going to be our competitor, how come, we're not going to teach you, go away, go away. So he went to the number 1, 2, 3, whatever. He went down to about 11th or 12th, and he found some relationship with his alumni or whatever, says, please, we're going to be okay, give us some technology, teach us something. So he said, okay, no big deal, we are small anyway, whether you are there or not, we already have big competitors in Japan, why not, we'll help you. So they helped the POSCO. Within 10 years, POSCO became the world's largest steel company, and because of POSCO, whole Japanese steel industry was shrunk in half. So this guy became a trader. And he went to publicly, because Japanese culture says, wow, that's a trader. He says, hey, number 1, what I taught him, or taught POSCO, was no big deal. It was fairly common technology. Number 2, how the heck did I know they will learn so fast? And in Japanese says, oh, wakarimashita, that makes sense, okay, you're not trader, okay, we'll not kill you. Anyway, who knows? I went to Paraguay and said the same thing about 2 weeks ago. I said, we're going to help you, one of your companies, and who knows your company will be the largest one, like Samsung. Who knew Samsung will be big in 20 years ago? Nobody knew about Samsung. Even Samsung name, nobody recognized it. Even still, many people think it's a Japanese company. And Samsung would not correct it. As long as it helps them, they don't care whether the buyers think Samsung is a Japanese company. Be trader. Anyway, anyway, there's even a professor dedicated in a Stanford business school. Says he specializes in investment in Africa, and he keeps saying Samsung. He says in 1970s nobody knew Samsung was going to be the largest company. Just trust me, there will be the largest company in the world will come out from Africa, and he's making investment in Africa. Anyway, God is saying, even though that mountain is small, as long as in the top of that mountains of that country, it has a strong influence. And I want you to do that. I mean, whatever area you are in, this is the punchline. Now the concept of a short-term mission should be changed. You are so talented, you are so educated, you are so equipped. You don't just go out in the street evangelizing. College students can do it. High school students can do it, but not the professionals. You professionals go there and train them in 2 weeks. They will become their leaders in their country. I like to see that. In music, in many areas. I'm going to Moldova this month. The pianist, the best pianist, she cannot memorize the tones. I took Nancy Lee, the Deacon Lee, says, play, so many times, they don't know. I said, oh man, their capability is so poor. They need a lot to learn. Anyway, so this is a new, actually in 21st century, it's a new mission. You need to go out and teach and develop the mission, in your profession, biblically in the nation, and help them, mentor them to grow to be the leaders in their country. They will have a strong influence. And God said, if you do that, then based on what I promised, the one who makes others to be prosperous, I will make them to be prosperous. And I will make them to go up to their mountain. Anyway, this is the model that we are using and developing and working with our missionaries. I told you at the beginning, God gave us the pioneering spirit. I go to the many business mission conferences, only less than 10%. If you go to general mission conference, less than 1% understand all this concept. I mean, if you really dig in and just spend 1 hour or two and type at the YouTube, Reclaim 7 Mountains, and listen to that video tape I just showed you about 2, 3, 7 times, you will become pioneer, new missionary in the 21st century. This is what we are trying to do at KPM. GMI commissioned me because so many elders complain. He said, is Elder Kang or Missionary Kang? You know, how come he goes around as a missionary Kang? He said, okay, let him be a missionary. But they don't give me any money. Some people say, does GMI pay you? No. I beat my disciples, just give me money, give me money. And that's what the KPM is. No, anyway, I'm so blessed. Now I deeply mentor them about 7 families and make sure those 7 families mentor them, 3 to 4 or 5 other families. And that's what we do in KPM. And every mission, we go out there. I mean, in Paraguay, I took out 4 other people. They all went up. One is fisherman, the other one is like, he's like just working people with the job. But they went through the business teaching materials, and they learned and they make it to their own. And with the prayers they prepared, and they gave them lectures. Man, they were so impressed. I mean, the lecturers got so flabbergasted that these all the people who are business people, they got all touched, and they were so happy to learn these things. So they came back and said, all the testimony, what we learned, at the KPM is so valuable to any nations, and that's what the short-term mission should be. And I want to go next level, which is have our people go out there and really mentor them. And the mentoring is a lifetime commitment. But KPM is just a pioneering to show the example. I want every EM church, especially in Southern California, like to do that too, because you are so educated, equipped, and I mean, your English is so good anyway. I don't have to threaten KPM people. Thou shalt prepare your lecture in English, then they don't sleep anymore. Anyway, this short-term mission can be very effective, and here's a biblical foundation. God wants to use you to raise up leaders like Joseph or Daniel in the nations, in their own fields. Then they will, then the whole nation will be properly influenced, and God will. That's God's strategy to evangelize whole nations.